What a beautiful morning it is. As you can see by the mud on the dirt track, we've got a little bit of rain. It's a Friday night after I got done, or Friday morning after I got done vertical tilling. It rained all day Friday. We probably got a couple inches. This is Monday now. We're going to haul some fertilizer today, but first we've got a new trencher for our skid steer coming. I'm going to unload it, and then we will make the trip to Courthouse. A little too wet for any kind of field work at the moment. It's here. So this is a Boehner boom trencher. So this is a boom trencher, goes on a skid steer that you can drive your skid steer forward. That was really appealing to us. We have quite a bit of trenching work to do with some of the construction projects we got going on. Like my house, I got a 4,000 foot water line I got to run. I got 2,000 feet of electric line underground I got to run. In the new shop, lots of conduit to run, lots of water lines to run there. So we went ahead and just bought a trencher, and the fact that you can drive this one forward really appealed to us. So I did not get this for free. This was not sponsored, but the guy did tell us if we sold him any, like if people seen this and liked what they seen and they mention our name when you call to order, you do have to order these. There's not a retailer or anything. These are factory direct. If you call an order and mention that you've seen this on Brian's farming videos, he talked like he would give us a sales commission. So, you know, if you do like this after we get it going and make sure we like it, and you end up ordering one, I would appreciate that if you mentioned us. Looks pretty slick, and the fact that you can drive forward's a pretty big plus to me. Had a rough trip out here on the shipping pallet though. It's on a different pallet than it started its journey with, and it's got a few scratches, but places that are scratched are going to be in the dirt anyways. Yeah. So cousin Ben just bought a 75-2 Kubota. He brought it over here and said we could mess around with it. It goes up, BJ, like an excavator. So for those of you who don't know, we are kind of in the skid steer market in the next 6 months, and been trying to drive as many different ones as possible. And Kubota is one of the brands I was curious about. Now I know some YouTubers have had bad experiences and some have had good experiences. Seems like every time I show a Kubota, someone says, go check out Dirt Perfect's video on Kubota. Well, I don't have any experience with them. Talked to Ben from Iowa Farmer. He loves his Kubota. Everybody has different experiences. One thing I did see Dirt Perfect saying was stuff gets down there. I could see that. That'd be annoying. Now, this is a smaller skid steer than the 331 John Deere we were running. Cab feel bigger than ours?
Ow, that's like right in my ear.
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
Mm-hmm. Feel like there's more leg room, maybe. I don't know.
Looks like it's wider at the bottom, too.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not.
Well, fire this bee up.
You don't have no cup holders like sticking out here.
Oh, they're back there. So if you're new to the channel, we have a 242 Cat. It's a lease machine. Lease is up on it. We're thinking about trying something different. See if BJ can figure out how to make it move. Oh, did something. We'll probably just play around this gravel just real quick. We're not going to put we're not going to put any time on this thing, but it's here for right now. I'm just going to pick up some gravel, see how it handles, kind of get a feel for the controls real quick, and then we'll hop in the accelerator. That's the task for today. We're going to do some accelerating. Like I said earlier, ground's fit for now, but probably won't be later. It's supposed to rain tonight. There's a couple fields that are historically pretty wet in the spring. Right now they're in pretty good shape. I'm going to try to knock those out here in a few minutes. What? Park brake! Latch it. There's a lock up top somehow. I think there's the latch right there. Seasoned operator now, right?
Yeah.
Definitely qualified to give your YouTube opinion.
Yeah.
See, I don't find this all that roomy personally.
I don't think it is any more roomy.
I think it's less
like
roomy.
I said, there's no cup holders in the corner sticking out at you.
Yeah, like there's no way to put my feet very far.
That actually is like more restrictive to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just slid the latch there, so
So one thing that Ben, my cousin who owns this skid steer, he was saying about that John Deere was that with a full bucket you couldn't lift straight up. I do kind of see what he was meaning. This one does lift straight up, but at the same time it doesn't feel like I'm getting as much in this bucket. It is a little jumpy. I'm sure there's some sensitivity you can maybe turn down. This machine has 1 hour. That's about a half a bucket. I'm able to pick up. Seemed like to me the John Deere just had more power. Now that is to be expected. That John Deere was a 90 horsepower machine. This is a 75. So we have the throttle at full throttle. Yeah, we're diving about halfway into that pile of gravel. Alright. Well, enough playing. Figure out how to open this thing. I think I need both hands. Oh. Kind of like that door if I was on a job site, but to be honest, when we use a skid steer most of the time, we don't need something like that because I'm not working on a job site. It's usually just me around. But like for my cousin who does concrete and landscape construction, I could see where he would like that. So he's always got a group of guys and he's usually having to tell people to go do this, go do that. So that would be pretty handy. We'll try haul a few loads of fertilizer again. Just really want to have everything ready when the ground dries out. We get all of our fert applied pretty quickly. We are planning on strip tilling as much as we possibly can before it gets too late. But we're going to need some weather to cooperate. But I would hate to have the weather and not have the fertilizer. Fertilizer for the day. It's a boring job, but it's a good rain day job. BJ's gonna pile that stuff up and make room for more. Well, there they are. So as I've stated multiple times, we are in the skid steer market, and as you guys have pointed out multiple times, we should check out a JCB. That was always our plan. Just waiting on our dealer to get one in to check out. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get a demo of this thing or anything like that. I think this unit might even be sold. Talk like they'd let us drive it around the lot, kind of look it over. It's just me here for now. Dad is going to be through this area later this evening, I believe. So one thing it is obviously different about a JCB is your side entry. Pretty nice, but in all fairness to the other brands, it's still awkward getting in. You're still climbing over a track. Now it does take the cake for most leg room so far. Lots of room, pretty good visibility, but they're maybe a little bit less than a normal one because this is not a door, it doesn't open. So you got more stuff right here, possibly. I don't know, let's see how that shakes out in operation. Looks like we got a camera right here, possibly. Radio, air conditioning, all that good stuff. I do like the room. Definitely has more space. Run inside, talk to Ted, our salesman. Ted's also the owner of American Equipment Service. We'll see if we can get the keys to this thing. Like I said, you still have to hop over this track though. Not perfect, but it is probably better than going through the front of a traditional skid steer, especially with an implement on it. This is a wheeled, non-teleskidding machine there. All right, we are in this thing. Ted was kind of telling me what all the buttons do and all the things that this machine has. I kind of like it. He said, there's a pile of gravel over here somewhere I can pick up. Kind of get some stability testing, you might say. So we are in the turtle. Let's see what happens when we... Oh, there we go. Now we're in the rabbit. Or if I can just drive this thing home without even noticing. They might catch me. One thing that's a little different about this, it's got plenty of leg room, but I don't like the foot throttle the way it's kind of sitting there. I got to pull my leg in a little bit, which kind of negates some of that foot room. Not a huge deal. I guess if I was running it for a long time, I would just use the hand throttle. But I do like the sensitivity settings, very easily adjustable. This thing seems very smooth. Right now I'm just in setting number 2. Dive in here. was interesting. I did like that skid steer. I liked how it handled. I've never stalled a skid steer before. That said, I was in high gear, so that might have been my fault a little bit there, but that's a first for me. But I would say the JCB is probably going to be Dad's favorite for sure. I mean, so far the ones that I have ran are 242, my cousin's Kubota, that 331, and the JCB. The John Deere and the JCB, I like them the best as far as controls, but I do like the door quite a bit on that JCB, that side entry door. That is a really good option. I like quite a bit. I was asking Ted a little bit about, the boom and can it bend, and according to him, they've never had from his shop a bent boom or anything like that. He said that you will break the coupler on the bucket before you break that boom. So take it for what it's worth. I don't know. That's just what he has told me. And he has sold a lot of those JCB skid steers and teleskids and compact loaders. We're going to head home now. I believe there's a crew of Amishmen working on my house. Well, there's the rest of the house, I guess. Got the floor joists, big beams. So probably laminate those together. That's probably what's going to run straight across there. There are going to be poles in the basement. It's not going to be free like a clear span. There will be a few poles. There she be. Oh, there's the poles even. I don't particularly like those kind of poles, but they're here. We'll probably encase them in something. Make them look pretty. It sure don't look like a house. Alright, just getting back to the house here. Apparently those guys are going to start on the house tomorrow, I guess. Pull in here and see what Dad is into. It is just a dreary, rainy, crappy kind of day. Like I said yesterday, we are about a day away from getting in the fields and doing some work, but looks like we'll be a day away again tomorrow. Might try to mow the yards. It's almost mowing season, unfortunately. The thing I haven't told you guys is Dad has been looking for a tool cat, and I guess he found one. I have no idea what it's good for. BJ doesn't either. We kind of question this purchase, but this was a Bob purchase, not a farm purchase. So.
Quite municipal.
Yeah, he looks very municipal.
Oh, it's like just a place for him.
Well, at least it won't stink.
You should have took him with you to check it out.
I guess I should have. I'm sorry.
Well, how many hours are on this beast?
Almost 5,000.
5,000?
Almost 49, 50.
Needs new tires.
Yeah.
Does it take skid steer tires?
Truck tires work from skid steer. Truck tires, 15-inch. 12-foot on tires, Robbie.
So what are you going to do with this thing?
Huh? I'd like to get a mower for it. All things.
It takes skid steer attachments?
Yeah. Put that digger on.
Why don't we just get a skid steer mower and you can just play with it every now and again?
Well, that's what I'll do.
One thing about it, we have no shortage of mowers on this farm.
Put that trencher on it.
You can run the trencher with this.
Yeah.
Might run it.
It will.
Probably won't lift it high enough.
It will.
That trencher might vibrate all the rust off of it, Dad.
You think?
A little rusty.
Just a little bit.
Where'd you find this thing?
Fairborn.
The guy spread salt with it, or they just rust out?
Penn State University. They all rust like that.
Penn State University. I knew this thing was going to be uncomfortable. Fasten the seatbelt.
Okay.
Comfortable, where's the key?
Right down. Got a code.
What's the code?
Throttle's over there. It won't do nothing until you put this down.
How fast does it go?
18.
You got a golf cart with a loader on it. Okay, well, how do I get out? Is this the brake? Is this the park brake?
Yeah.
You want to drive it?
The wheel tilts.
I'm gonna go down and get some firewood here in a minute with it. I was worried about getting my truck stuck down there.
You can get this stuck. It probably weighs more.
Could.
Land Mason have a good time nowadays during the docks.
All right, this is the next day, some morning. But we are going to go over here and spread a little bit more fertilizer. We've had some rain, but I've got some gravelly fields that I think I can spread now. Try to capitalize on those while the weather's not too windy today though, so that's good. So we're gonna go spread some potash. I guess we need to move some stuff. Get this tender truck out of here. Park it out of the way. Good news is we have a week of really good weather in the forecast, which will probably change tomorrow, or it's probably already changed now. But as of now, we have a week to 10 days of sunshine and mid-70s. So I'm hoping a lot of fertilizer gets applied, a lot of herbicide gets applied, some planters get worked on, and we'll be ready to go soon. The temperature didn't drop. It got cold again. So we're back into the 40s at night. I know that some of you have colder temperatures, but it was in the 80s like a couple days ago. And well, we got used to that. We'll go ahead and fill her up and spread her out. Got to get my coffee stash. Anybody else leave the plastic on the seats when something's new as long as possible? It's like a free seat cover. Somewhere else. It's the first 40 down, so we're gonna go up the road. We still have quite a bit of fertilizer on board, which I expected to. We applied, according to our monitor, exactly pretty close to what we were supposed to, within a couple 100 pounds. That's good. And yeah, we'll just keep on ticking away at some bean fields. We've done 150 acres, and well, that's not quite 10% of the acres that we got to apply on just bean ground. So we've got a lot to do. That is very similar to the color that our new shop's going to be. In fact, that is the color our new shop's going to be. White, black wainscot. I think we're going to do black doors and black windows, though. I don't know if I told you guys that yet. That decision got made the other day. Looking forward to it. I think it's going to look pretty snazzy. I'm going to go up here and see if we can't get run over by a train. Top ground. Came down here to the big bottom fields. I have some potash still in the spreader, and we're about 5 miles from the hoop barn, so I definitely didn't want to go back with more product. Was going to wait a little while to do this field, but it seems to be dry enough up here. There's a few places in this field that are just straight gravel. So if the rest of the field's too wet, or if we're tracking it up, I'll just go get rid of this stuff on that really gravelly spot. But I think this will be okay. I think we're going to be all right over here. It's an extremely gravelly farm. In fact, there's a gravel pit on the other side of the river from this farm. We are going to have to go around that. That ain't going to work. So this field did flood at one point, and we've got some water in this low-lying area, and well, that water will be there a while. I think that might still be there when we plant. I don't know, but we'll just have to go around it for now. I don't know if this will show up on camera, but you can see the gravel bar right there. See where those weeds are growing? That is straight gravel right there. When you hit that with the vertical tillage tool, the tool comes out of the ground, you pick up like 2 miles an hour, the engine idles down. I get it straight gravel right here. Yep, she's a little high. The river be up a little bit right now. So it's probably a good thing we don't have many more rain events in the immediate forecast, because it would not take much, and well, we'd be in another flood situation. We don't want it to dry up completely, but you know, if we can wait a little bit, that'd be awesome. You know, if I could control the weather, which you can, but it would be pretty cool. So we are just about empty. Probably won't make it all the way back down to the other end of the field. So one thing you have to keep in mind with the fertilizer spreader, you're not actually counting product. The only way this thing is calculating rate is it knows how fast the belt that is feeding the fertilizer through the back of the machine is spinning, the RPMs that it's turning, and that's really the only thing that's counting product. How fast that's moving based on your ground speed tied in with what your rate is. It's just that there's no counting of the rate. Like there's not like a planner where you have a seat sensor. What I'm getting at is I really got to pay attention back there. You could keep mapping, like we're mapping right now. We're showing that we're applying product, but it'll do that empty too. So you have to actually look. Now I do always put a weight in here that will count down based on what your poundage you're applying, but it's pretty low. I do that on purpose. It went off a little bit ago to kind of remind me to turn around and start looking back there. And it's empty. Load up one more and we'll spread it off this afternoon. got another 160, 170 acres. We just did this 160 acre field, so that's good. I've filled this thing very full of fertilizer and we had just enough. Well, that's not good. I guess we're done spreading for now. For this video, we are actually doing a podcast with the starting tight end for Ohio State football, Cade Stover. So be looking forward to that here in the next couple weeks or so. But I gotta go do that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.